Dun 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 dun. It is my 36th birthday today. I'm a year younger than the person we're going to be highlighting here in this article. And this right here, I would consider like the term Chad is thrown around way too much for my liking. I think that it's awfully cringe whenever somebody who does, something that resembles some normal activity or some normal behavior gets labeled as being an alpha Chad or, oh my God, what a giga Chad. And it's like, no. This is, if you're going to be calling anybody a Chad, this is my guy right here. I was 37 with a six-pack when I got stage 4 colon cancer. I even worked out between chemo appointments. Yo, this guy right here. Kevin Brady, now 38, was in the best shape of his life when he was diagnosed with colorectal cancer in October of 2024. And he now wants you to know that, yes, it matters. I think that some people hear of someone who's very healthy and in very good shape who gets cancer. They go, well, what's the point of being in good shape or healthy because you got cancer anyway, he told the Post. It's like, well, I guess that's a very nihilistic approach. One that good old Kevin here, doesn't really seem to share. On the contrary, he felt that the work that he had put into his body made him feel more resilient and in control. A reminder that he was more than just his diagnosis. Living in Astoria, Queens, he went to Mount Sinai Queens Emergency Department one night because he had abdominal pain, and it persisted for over 2 days. All of a sudden, I had a sharp feeling, and it was almost like I wanted to double over for a second, he said. Doctors told him that he had a bowel obstruction. That was the source of his pain. So it was basically spasms in my intestine every time that they were trying to fight back on this blockage. I'm fortunate that basically this thing had started to grow outward to block traffic, because this was actually what triggered the pain. Otherwise, it was in such great shape that my body seemed to be working around it. Yo, that's crazy. The surgeon removed a foot of intestines. Oh shit, along with a 4-centimeter tumor. It was a tumor. That was a surprise because Brady didn't have any of the classic risk factors, no family history of cancer. He didn't smoke or drink heavily. The rest of me was so healthy that I was just able to connect it to a pipe that was removed. I didn't have to have a bag or any kind of ostomy situation. He spent 2 weeks in the hospital. His weight dropping 20 pounds to 140, which is a little lean for somebody who is 6 feet tall. That's actually quite lean, in fact. And even at 160, it's like, man, you are got to be in the very, very, very low double digits, if not the single digit body fat club. He thanks his core strength for enabling him to move around, which came in handy a lot. While I was in the hospital, I couldn't sleep, so I would go up and down the halls with my IV pole and my tubes. I knew that most physical fitness that I could do for myself, and the least pain medication I could be on, the better the recovery. And he did it all with the help of the Queen of Soul herself and one of the hospital staff, of course. Okay, that's how I got to know all the nurses. I would put on Aretha Franklin, say a little prayer, because that was a good speed for me. Soon, he was home and it was time to start chemo, involving a chemo port being put in his upper chest. I've got a really good picture of my six-pack abs right before they cut it open, and that's why my scar looks the way that it does, because my surgeon was able to cut between the muscle to maintain my core strength. Good for him. That's a little bit of a risque picture, but yeah, no, this guy's like rocking 8% body fat. That's why he could get away with being 160 and still relatively healthy. And even though he was allowed to hit the gym between chemo appointments, which he did as long as he kept the workouts light, there's more evidence that exercise following the colorectal cancer diagnosis significantly improves cure rates. His oncologist at Mount Sinai told the Post, adding that he's 100% agrees with Brady's belief that being in great shape to begin with helped him make his entire cancer journey smoother. There's always an advantage to being physically fit. His mother, whom he calls his superhero, should be her superhero, right? And a true Queens girl who would do anything for her kids, came to every chemo appointment. He also leaned on his father, who lives with Brady's mother in Levittown, and had his faith and a lot of support from the friends to help him through. So as far as his tests are clear, but he'll need to be continuous monitoring in the years to come. Oh yeah, of course. As an openly gay man, Brady thinks of it like HIV. Yo, wait, what? That kind of come out of left field. Just because it's undetectable, it doesn't mean that it's not there. Yeah, of course. Okay, now we're talking about AIDS in gay men. Don't really care about, I guess I probably should have been able to tell with, the pink pants and all that stuff. I just wanted to use this, oh God, not that anymore, just as a clear and obvious example that, yeah, guess what? It's not just for show. People who exercise might actually have an altruistic motivation behind it, where they just want to stay alive and they just want to stay as healthy for as long as humanly possible. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. And happy birthday me. Take care, everyone.